Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Katherine, and I'm here to talk a little bit about soul age again today. And I've been sprinkling in some information about soul age as we've gone along. And today, my question is, are you acting your soul age? So what does that really mean? Because we can have an older person who acts like a child. We can have a young child who acts like a very mature and sage adult. We can have someone who is working age person and they're being responsible in many ways, but that they like a lot of drama in their lives. So there's all different ways to look at age. And we can't really, from a soul perspective, look at our development just from chronological age. So, and this is a tricky subject because when I talk about soul age, I am not at all meaning to be condescending. That's not the point. It's just kind of meeting a person where they're at and helping them understand this is kind of why you see the world the way you do. This is how you react to the world the way you do. This is coming from, your level of development in terms of what you have accumulated over your soul years, much more than your chronological years. So the human condition is our vehicle to develop our souls in many ways. So yes, we mature as we have tough things happen. We mature as we have to get through and traverse big decisions and challenges and events in our lives. But it really has to do a lot more with how are we seasoned as a soul. At a very young age, I realized that I actually got along with older people, or I resonated, I should say, with older people a lot more than I resonated with kids my age. And I was really confused by that. And a lot of times I felt very left out, and I felt very isolated, and I felt very confused by the fact that it was much, I felt more comfortable around older people. When I watched people around me, in my cohort, my peer group, I was very confused by a lot of their behaviors because they did a lot of things that they thought were fun that I didn't think were fun at all. I couldn't understand a lot of why they were doing what they were doing. And so it took me years, actually decades, for me to start understanding the difference between chronological age and soul age. And this is a big topic for me with clients a lot of times because I try to help them understand that their reactions or the reactions of the people around them have a lot to do with their own seasoning of the soul, much more than it has to do with how old they are as a human being. So if you're a person who believes in past lives, the whole idea of past lives and reincarnation is that we have to keep coming back in order to continue our soul development. We have to learn new lessons. We have to learn to traverse, again, new challenges in terms of the human condition and get past different things. And, I could go on and on about all of the things that I hear in a session with clients that is really, to me, soul work more than it is human work. So the older the soul, meaning the more lives they've had, the more seasoning they've had, the more experiences they've had, and also the older the soul, the more likely you are to want to learn and evolve and grow and understand that the events of the human condition really are fodder for growth. So again, are you acting your soul age? So most people want to be an older soul than they actually are. I don't encourage people. In fact, when someone asks me how old of soul they are, I don't answer. I basically hand them my list of, or my spectrum of soul age, and I have them decide for themselves in some ways, because, again, we all want to be an older soul than we are. Emotionally, and I talk a little bit about this in my book, Soul Health. I'm writing another book. I'm in the process of gearing up to write another one about soul age. But in that book, I talk a lot about how emotions and our emotional reactions and the way we think about the world has a lot to do about our soul development. So if we are very reactive, if we are very emotional, if we like a lot of drama, if we always have something stirred up in our lives, or if we always have to have some sort of again, emotional kind of thing going on, oftentimes that means that you are a younger soul. And that is not a bad thing. What that means is that you have to have those experiences to stir you enough, make you uncomfortable enough to really look at yourself. But then you have to step out of yourself in order to be able to identify and learn from your experiences. So it's again, and I know this is a really complex issue, But we have to really think about, are we acting our chronological age or are we acting our soul age? And soul age to me is so much more of a robust way to look at lives, or look at how we deal with our lives. You know, I call myself a soul snob in some ways. And what I mean by that is I'm really at a point in my life where I need people who can really delve in and look at their stuff and work on who they are, and that are, you know, super, I guess, just willing to do their growth. And so usually people who are willing to do their growth are on that awareness, on that level of consciousness where their souls are developed enough in order to realize that this is the kind of work we do as humans. This is the kind of work we have to do in order to take ourselves forward and evolve as souls, and take us into that next level of development in whatever way that means. So, you know, the point with this whole topic is, are you acting your soul age? It's kind of really, it's a reality check. It's you stepping back to go, wait a minute, am I acting my soul age, or am I trying to fit into a situation, or am I trying to be a person to fit the people around me? And that is such a trap, because if you are hanging out with people who are a different soul age than you, especially if they're younger souls than you, then you're really going to have a difficult time evolving, because you're not going to be challenged. You're not going to be in that place where, well, you're going to be challenged, just not in the way you want to be challenged, but you're not going to be challenged in order to grow and look deeper and move further. So, big topic. I'm not even sure where to go with this entirely with this video, other than to really have you start thinking about, are you acting your soul age? And this may be a whole new, this probably is a whole new thought for a lot of people, is, am I, you know, beyond my human condition? Am I living as a soul? Am I living beyond and being conscious beyond my human condition situations? You know, I know a lot of people who have family members who are much younger souls than them, and they don't know how to make sense of their behaviors. They don't know how to make sense of why they don't care about them in the way that they need to, or why they don't take care of the person of concern, meaning the older soul. And it's because, really, if you've got a young soul family, they don't know how to take care of someone else. They can't get outside of themselves in order to take care of you. If you have a spouse that's a younger soul than you, it's going to be a fair bit of a challenge, unless you really like to take care of people and you want to take care of them, or you want to control them. Because people who are in relationships with younger souls oftentimes want to take care of someone or want to control them. So it's a really interesting kind of dynamic that happens, and this book that I'm working on is going to start to lay out some of this. And then also next year in 2020, I'm going to be doing a lot more classes and videos online, so people can really start to grasp this idea of soul age and how that affects us as individuals. So just planting some seeds, because I think this is really a big part of where we need to go in terms of understanding our human development and our soul development at that point. So I want you to kind of think about the people in your life and think about, you know, do they act more mature than their age? Do they act younger than mature than their age? And I mean chronological age, and just see what that does for you, and also look at them, you know, yourself, and see how you are looking at your own behavior and how you're reacting to the world. So I would love to hear comments about this. I have conversations with clients and friends about this all the time, people at the gym sometimes, and it's really fun to help people understand the difference, because it really helps you open up your world. So I would love to hear you comment if you have some ideas about soul age yourself. You can also go to my website at www.Dr.KatherineT.Kelly.com and get more information. But keep your eyes open, because in 2020, I'm going to be doing, like I said, some videos and some webinars about this topic to help expand people's understanding. So hope you have a wonderful Soul Wisdom Wednesday, and I will be back soon. Take care. Bye-bye.